Welcome back to 22 Savage TV. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe. I appreciate all your support. So this is going to be Waiver Wednesday for week 9. I'm going to go over the top waiver options. This is going to be a fire episode. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and start by going to my watch list. And I know it's a little bit late if you're just now seeing this video. I apologize, man. I was really busy today. But, it's actually a good thing that I waited to make this video because a lot of big news has happened if you've been keeping up with the NFL news. And a lot of it is going to affect, obviously this edition of Waiver Wednesday and the options that I choose to give out to you guys. So a lot of big things have happened, man. So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start by getting into the top waiver option I have. Again, this is Waiver Wednesday for week 9. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. So the first person I wanted to talk about, obviously the biggest news out right now is that Aaron Rodgers, the reigning, defending league MVP, has been added to the list, we shall say. And obviously given his status as we'll just say an unjabbed person, Aaron Rodgers has been placed on the reserve list and he will miss at least this Sunday's game. I've seen reports that says that he will also miss the following game. So we're looking at about a 2-game absence for Aaron Rodgers. And so that brings me to the top waiver wire option for this week as well as moving forward. Jordan Love, because obviously we just don't know with the protocols and everything set up how they are. We just don't know how much time Aaron Rodgers is going to miss. And Jordan Love obviously stands to benefit from that. I think he can give you borderline top 10 quarterback fantasy production just given the offense that he's in. I mean, I know recently we've seen that running game pick up, and you would think with a younger, less experienced quarterback that, they may go to a run-heavy approach. But I actually think that, they're just going to run their normal operation. I think, obviously they have weapons there in Green Bay. Don't be fooled, by some of the drama and the reports. They have plenty of weapons. That offense is quite prolific, and I think Jordan Love can step seamlessly right in and, really take advantage of this opportunity. And he has a chance to show the world what he has. And so Jordan Love is the top waiver wire option for week 9. I'm going to go into my next one, which obviously I would say actually the biggest piece of news, or the second biggest, depending on how you look at it. Derrick Henry went down. He had a foot injury in the last game against the Colts. He was able to finish the game, but it looks like he's going to be out for an extended period of time. And so the Titans have sort of been scrambling because obviously it's been pretty much Derrick Henry or bust. I didn't even really know who their backup running back was. I mean, I knew who he was, but most people don't know who he was. And so that just goes to show you, the level of importance that they placed on the backup running back. So now that Henry is out, they've signed Adrian Peterson to their practice squad. Now, I know AP is a bit older. Obviously, he has a lot of years in the league, but one thing I've always liked about Adrian Peterson, you can never question his desire, his determination, his will to win. And I just think that, he's just one of those guys that you can count on a certain level of production. And if anybody is able to benefit in the Titans' run-heavy offense, it would be Adrian Peterson, because he's one of those backs that needs to be fed the ball. 15 plus carries is what I'm imagining. Once he gets up to speed, gets integrated into the Titans' offense. This could be, a huge pickup. Mid-season, like I said, this is a game of attrition. Football is a violent sport. It was bound to happen. I mean, they constantly fed Derrick Henry until the cows came home, and then obviously their cows came home. I mean, the chickens came home right with them to roost, I guess, if you want to look at it like that. But it was inevitable in my opinion, which is why, I'm kind of glad the draft shook out how it did. But because I would have hated to have been in that position to have to choose between Derrick Henry and someone else, because in the back of my mind I just knew the injury gods, so to speak, were gonna catch up to Derrick Henry. But we wish him a speedy recovery, and hopefully he can get back to his dominant form. So anyway, Adrian Peterson, again, I think is going to be the lead back in Tennessee. Definitely want to scoop him up. Let's keep it moving here. I want to talk about a guy who I saw a lot of in the Monday night game. Derrick Gore, actually. I want to mention him as well. I think that, we saw, he got a decent amount of work, and he produced with it. I think he had a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. 11 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown. Not bad for a guy who I had previously had no idea who he was. And so what I'm thinking is, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is still going to be a few weeks away. Pretty much they're between the tackles back is pretty much, I almost said Damian Williams, not Damian Williams, but Darrell Williams. Damian is now in Chicago. And then they obviously have Jerick McKinnon, but he's more of a pass catching, sort of back. And so as far as their depth of having running backs who can run between the tackles, we really didn't know behind Darrell Williams. And so Derrick Gore has now emerged. And obviously we know the Chiefs' offense is high-powered, and so, you want to get a piece of that high-powered offense if you can, and I think Derrick Gore is going to be a piece of that high-powered offense. Even once Edwards-Helaire comes back, because Edwards-Helaire to me has always been pretty much a glorified scat back. I mean, he's no different than Jerick McKinnon, if you ask me. He's not going to be able to hold up in those trenches with those big 300-pound guys. I mean, it's just, not very likely. So even when he does come back, I think that Kansas City will be wise to employ more of a committee approach. That's really just, my sort of 2 cents on it. So, that's pretty much what I have for you there. And then the last guy I want to mention, I actually am going to go to my team, because I was fortunate enough to grab this guy once the waivers cleared Wednesday night. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, somewhere in there. It's going to be this guy right here, Pat Freimuth. Now, the reason why I want to mention him, I had to pick him up because my tight ends have just pretty much underperformed. I mean, Noah Fant has been great. At times, it's been sporadic. It's been very inconsistent, up and down. Like, one week he'll have 20 points, and then the next week he'll have like 3 points. And I prefer, consistency. And then, speaking of Noah Fant, speaking of the reserve list from my obviously top waiver wire selection in that whole situation, Noah Fant has also found himself on the reserve list. And it's looking like he's going to miss at least one game. And so if you're in a situation you need to grab a tight end, Pat Freimuth has actually quietly had a pretty decent season here at tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously their offense isn't one that's very prolific. In their last game, I think they only scored 15 against Cleveland. Their passing attack has been so-so. I mean, it's not bad. It's not like, Ben just goes out there and just has turnover after turnover, but they just haven't gone down the field and produced the type of points. But Freimuth has been like a hidden gem in that offense. Obviously, given Ben's advanced age, maybe they just can't push the ball down the field because he just doesn't have the arm, and so he tends to check it down a lot. Running backs, tight ends, Claypool, which is basically he's just like a tight end. But Freimuth has really benefited. Like I said, really quiet but really solid season. As you can see here. Nothing eye-popping, nothing just too like, oh my goodness, but 9.7 points here, 9.3 points here, 12.4, like very solid tight end production. And then if you look at his targets, 7 targets in week 6, 7 again in week 8. I think this offense is trending more towards featuring this guy. Like I said, he's been a somewhat of a hidden gem. I was listening to some commentary this week, and they mentioned how they really like him in Pittsburgh. Like he's one of their types of guys. He's like another Heath Miller is what I've heard, and so that's high praise because Heath Miller was really good as a Pittsburgh tight end in Pittsburgh. Getting tongue-tied. But if Freimuth can approach that level, which is looking like he is, or he at least has Ben Roethlisberger's attention. I think he's worth a look as well. And so that's gonna do it again for this week's Waiver Wednesday video, week 9. I appreciate all the support. Again, smash the like button. Hit the subscribe. I'll catch y'all on the next one.